Good morning, everybody. My name is Deborah Byrne from Deborah Byrne Psychology Services, known across social media as DB Psychology. And today I'm going to be talking about self-care in the run-up to Christmas. And hopefully you'll get some tips and ideas as to how to handle this time of year. So as we know, coming up to Christmas, it can be so, stressful. It's not just the day itself, it's the whole run-up to it. It can also be very expensive. And we can get very, very overly involved in the planning and then completely miss, the chances to enjoy the whole season. So that was the basis for writing this book. And also, particularly to protect yourself from the stress, to reduce that stress. And, anxiety and depression can also rise at this time of year. People have seasonal affective disorder. So, we've got to think, what am I going to do to help myself? So little self-help and very much planning is involved in that. So self-care. As always, I will say, the minimum you should ever reduce anything down to is your basic self-care. And I've talked about that before. I've a lot of blogs now on that there. So that would be my first tip. Don't let go of that basic self-care. That's the very least that you ever do. And it is something that you use when you need to recenter yourself, is to bring it all back to basics and just do that and recenter. Never ever let go of that. Because at this time of the year, we have a tendency to actually let go of our routine. We have a tendency to drop things that we'd normally do, and that's not a good thing. So we have to set boundaries. So that's my next tip, is to please keep setting your boundaries. You can say no to things, say no to people, you can say no to events, and you can say no to doing anything extra that you want to do. You can always use the excuse if people are always, we haven't seen each other for a year or things like that. We need to catch up and things like that. Yeah, you can do it after Christmas, maybe between Christmas and the New Year, or maybe just in January, because January can be quite depressing time of year. That first few weeks in January, in fact, to catch up with old friends. So think about maybe putting them off and making a set appointment in January to see them then. As I said, slow down and just enjoy this time of year. So in order to do that, what I've posed are some questions. Maybe to take a breath today before you get into the whole thing and say, okay, what is going on at this time of the year? What can I bring is already in line with my values? What do I want? And so, think about what you want to make happen. Maybe are there traditions you want to make happen? Maybe there are traditions you want to let go for there are things we keep up, but we're not really sure why we keep them up. So maybe it's time to take a breath and say, okay, I want to let some things go here. Or maybe there are things you want to create with your own family, your own children, if you have that. So, slow down, take a breath this weekend and think about what you really want to happen this Christmas for you. Another great way and to enhance your self-care over the next few weeks is to stimulate your senses. So think about, taking a bubble bath, lighting a few candles, scented candles, to help you, scents that are going to help you relax. What we want to do is reduce the stress when we're at home, reduce the stress as much as possible. And when we step away from doing all that shopping that we all insist on doing, that we want to take a bit of time and so still to do that. And the next point brings me on to the next point, is to take your breaks. So, there's a lot of rush going on. Maybe it's the end of year work, so there'll be a lot of rush going on. Do not sacrifice your breaks. It is a stressful season, as is, so you need to take your breaks. So lunch breaks, coffee breaks, make sure you're eating well, and take that time to take the break during the day. And also take time to meditate. Even if you haven't meditated up to now, do a 3-minute breather. And if you want to figure out how to do that, I have a podcast on it. So if you go to my website, you'll see a link out to my podcast. Just do the 3-minute breather. It's sitting down. You can do it anywhere. You take yourself off to the bathroom, 3 minutes of just relaxing breathing. You can either use the 7-11 technique or just sit and breathe. Just sit and focus on your breath for 3 minutes. It's a very simple and very effective technique. You can do it anywhere. You're out shopping, nip off to the bathroom, out, in the shopping area. Take a breath. Just take a breath and do that. It can make such a difference to what's going on during that day. And as I said, don't let go of your normal routine. So make the time for your hobbies and interests. Make the time for your supportive, positive friends. They're going to be your backups. Really make sure they're doing a support group, and you normally attend some sort of support group during the year. Please don't let that go at this time of the year. That is going to be even more important. Date night with the hubby, whoever, have those date nights still. And most importantly will be the next few. Don't let go of your sleep routine. Protect that at all costs. Your sleep routine is very important. Your exercise and your healthy eating as well. We can overindulge and, we're going to feel really bad about it and we're going to feel guilty. So in order to reduce, keep up with the exercise and keep up with your healthy eating as much as possible, you don't feel as guilty. Journal, particularly for gratitude, but journal to get out the feelings, because you have to feel the feelings at this time of the year. It's the most important time to do it. You're going to have, I don't care who you are, it's going to bring up some sort of emotion and memories for this time of year. It's very evocative. And we need to feel those feelings. So we need to sit with our feelings, but we also need to journal them out. So those 2 points are very, very important. So as I said at the start, planning is going to be your key here. And, not to get all planned out. What you can do is when you plan it. And 2, if you need whatever you need to get, you idea of what you need to get, you hop into the shop, get it, and out. It's like a quick, in, out, get what you need, get out. And therefore you're not getting too stressed about being around all these people, and you're picking up on all their stress. And, it can be, you can get caught up so much in what other people are feeling and thinking and how stressed they are just by going into a shopping centre. And everybody's like panicking, and you don't want to get caught up in that. So if you have your list, if you have your preparation and you have your planning done, you can reduce that. I'm gone. So, think about, as I said at the start, planning is going to be key for this. Christmas Day itself, and even in the run up to it, can be a very lonely time for people. So, just take a time. I'm just asking people to take time to maybe ring somebody that lives on their own. It's going to be, that spending time on their own, even to check on a neighbour or two. And as I said, January can be a very lonely month. So maybe planning that time out to meet up with your friends then, plan in now for January. If you're having family and friends over Christmas Day or over the Christmas period, you're going to have to prepare yourself for what's in store, and it can be very hard. They are the one people, your family are the one people that can poke you and prod you and, get you to rise to the bait, and it can be so hard at that day or that time. And sibling rivalry, no matter how big you get, the sibling rivalry will come out, particularly if you're all together at Christmas. So what you need to do, very quickly, I'm going to run through these. Think about the acronym HALT, which means if you're hungry, angry, lonely or tired, you take a break, you step away from everybody else, and you take care of those needs. So if you're hungry, you have a snack, maybe that's what you need. If you're angry, then step away, do the 3-minute breather, get out of the room, get away from them, and there's a few more techniques, I'm going to come to them in a minute. If you're lonely, make a phone call, seek out company. You need to make a connection in some way. If you're tired, take a break, rest, give yourself permission to rest. You do have it. The other things you can do is get outside. Get outside on the day, take a break from everybody else, take a little walk. Look after yourself first. So do not let go of that basic self-care care routine, as I said, that is your minimum standard you should have for yourself. If you are faced with a few people that is very difficult, they are very difficult to handle, and you have to see them, I would advise, if you don't have to, then take a step back, minimize contact. But if you do have to see them, if you're looking after a little preparation in advance is great, because if you can use deflection, then you can steer them in a different direction. People always love to talk about themselves, so you steer them in a different direction if you can use that. Don't rise to the bait. Don't rise to the bait, as I said. If you can walk away and say, oh, I have to go, the kids need me, or oh, something in the oven, I have to go and help here, or oh, was that mum calling me, or something. You have your excuses all in advance so you can keep avoiding them during the day. Take any help offered. So if people are coming to you for the day and you are the one hosting, instead of being so stressed out, ask people to bring dishes with them. So ask somebody to do the vegetables, ask somebody else to do potatoes, ask somebody else maybe to do the wine, ask somebody maybe to do. So think about spreading the load, the cooking load, and spreading out the stress, so everybody then can enjoy. If somebody else, if people are doing it and they're going to bring it, they're going to bring it, you just do turkey and ham or whatever that main dish is that you do, and then spread the load, as they say, and take help. Do not think you have to do this. You do not have to do this. You do not have to do the whole day by yourself. You do not have to do all the cooking and cleaning. Ask for help. Take the help that is offered. If somebody says, can I help you? You say yes, and then point them in the direction of what you want them to do. In terms of also dealing with people and difficult situations on the day, try not to drink too much. If you know you're going to be faced with somebody who is very difficult and very difficult to handle, try not to drink yourself until after they leave. And then maybe have a glass of wine or something. But think about how you're going to handle this. If you are drinking and they're drinking and rows happen, and rows inevitably do happen during that situation, it isn't good. It's not good for the kids if there are children there. So think about focusing on the kids that day instead. And always remember, you can say no to hosting. You say no to going to somebody else's for Christmas at home, and you can then, you don't have to visit them on the day. You can make a plan in advance. We will visit you on at such and such a day. Is it convenient for you? Maybe have a couple of days and a couple of times in line that you can visit them. You can always say no, and that's the most important thing, I think, at this time of the year. People feel that they can't say no, but you can. You have permission to say no. So I'll leave it there. Do check out the blog. It's a bit more detailed, and I will see you all again next Saturday morning. And thanks as always to Deirdre and Colette, who tune in every week, and everybody else who watches on replay. Thank you very much. And the new blog, it's a disabilities blog. So thank you and good morning.